Hi everybody and welcome to Oscar Outdoors. Join me in this one as I show you how I use Kam Snaps to modify my camping gear. Welcome back everyone. So as in a little intro, today I'm going to show you how I use Kam Snaps to modify some of my camping gear. Now if you're a regular subscriber to the channel, you'll notice a couple of videos below this I showed you a hammock setup where I've used Kam Snaps on the underquilt and top quilt to hold them in place sort of overnight to make it easier to set up and easier to pack away in the morning. So what are Kam Snaps? Kam Snaps are basically just little plastic press studs like this. So this is a male one, there's a female one. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to modify another one of my hammock setups today, but I'm only going to show you sort of installing a couple of snaps and then show you the finished product at the end. I'll show you how I use the tools, I'll show you how I put them on, and I'll show you how I make the decisions about where I'm going to place the things. So yeah, stick with me and I'll get to showing you one. So again, what is a Kam Snap? Kam Snap is these plastic press studs. Now this is the Onewind Underquilt and this comes with some pre-installed on there. So you've got a male on one side and female on the other. And you just snap it together and it just keeps it looking nice and neat. So what I want to be doing is I want to be adding some additional ones in there to attach directly to the hammock. So this is the 12-foot bug net hammock from Onewind as well. Now I'm just going to modify all this gear to make it similar to the black and orange setup that you'll have seen if you're a regular to the channel. But yeah, I'm going to show you how I install these, and I'm going to install a load more on the quilt and then a load on the hammock. Right, so I've slackened all the bungees off on the underquilt, so it's all sort of nice and loose now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you where I want the underquilt, and then how I'm going to mark it up, and then how I'm going to actually install one of the Kam Snaps. So my first one I want just here in the corner. I'm going to try and keep it in line with this one here just to make it look nice and neat. And then I want them probably in the middle of these ones, just so that I know the difference. And I'm going to do them a different colour to the black. The black came with it. I'm going to use green. So I'm going to put a green one here, green one there, and I'm going to do that all the way down. So, and then obviously I'm going to put the reverse on the hammock. So just on the inside of the zip here, just going to put the reverse. So if, let's say if I put a male here, I'm going to have a female on the hammock. That's probably the way that I'll do it actually. Male on the thing and then female on the hammock. So I'm just going to guesstimate the first one, really. So I want it close to the corner, but sort of away from the edges, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to go sort of right there, I think. So I'm just going to make a little mark, just so I know where I'm going to put my first stud. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure between these two. So I've got with me like a little seamstress's tape measure, and put that halfway on one Kam Snap, and so they're like 10.5 inches, so like 5 1/4 roughly. Yeah, so probably about there. About 5 1/4, just there. So that'll be the placement for the next one that'll go on the hammock. So that'll be a hammock, and then we'll carry on. So I've just gone down and marked placements for them. So I've got one here and one there. So that's just 2, but I've done that all the way down. So I've got 9 on this side. We'll do the reverse. So as you can see, I've marked it out, ready to rock and roll. So when it comes to marking up the hammock, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to place these. So let's just say these are 10 inches apart. we're at 5 1/4. I'm going to have to do these probably 9 inches apart on the hammock, just so that we're not putting too much strain on the hammock and we've got a little bit of sag in the underquilt, if that makes sense. Right, let's crack on. Right, so just in front of you I've got all the tools that we're going to need to perform this simple modification on any camping gear. So you got a Kam Snap sort of plier tool set, obviously clamp in here and job done. You've got an awl to put the holes in the actual gear so you can pass through the actual Kam Snaps, and then here we have the Kam Snaps. So they come in sort of 3 parts, as you can see. So you've got the bases, which just look like little thumbtacks or drawing pins, and then here you've got a male, and then here we have a female Kam Snap. So that's it, that's all the tools we'll need. Let's get to doing it. I just showed you the handheld pliers for Kam Snaps, but this is my upgraded version. This is like my desk mounted version of the Kam Snap tool. Works in exactly the same way. Pull out a lever and then press down, insert the Kam Snap, job done. Right, so here we go, ready to install the first one. So obviously make sure everything else is out of the way, and then grab your awl. So it's basically just a shabby stabby pointy thing. Pick up the material that you're going to be using, find the centre of the hole that you wanted, and then just press through. See, it's come through on the other side, making a nice neat hole. And then what you'll do then is you'll take the part of your Kam Snap that you want, so you want the back, and then I think I've got the males installed on the desk mounted tool, so we're going to take a male one and pop that into this one. I'm just putting the back on, and then you just want to make sure that like the little thumbtack part is coming through or protruding from the other side. And then take your male part of the clip and just sort of rest that over like pushing it over, just like so. And then what you want to do then is rest the back of the Kam Snap in the die mount there. Can you see that clearly enough? Like so, and then watch your fingers, pull down the cam, and then that's it, quite simply installed. You can see that it's installed because it's been pulled back up. And move that away, and I'll show you that in a little bit closer detail. Okay, so that's the finished one. So that's the male side. Focus, and then obviously on the back side there. You can see it's quite a nice, neat finish. Right, I'm going to do the same with the rest, and then I'll bring you back. Right, well, as you can see, I've installed all these sort of olive or green coloured Kam Snaps down on both sides now of the underquilt. What I need to do now is I need to get some weight in the hammock. So either a backpack or a child, or in my case my glorious wife when she comes back. So we're going to stick Danielle in the hammock, and then I'm going to measure where I need to put all the reverse Kam Snaps on the actual hammock. Right, so there we go, I've got my lovely wife Danielle in the hammock. So now you can see that the underquilt is ridden up to where it probably will do on the hammock. So what I've done is I've released all the cinch buckles, or all the sort of extra tie-ins, apart from the two that are just holding it up. This I can tighten as I need afterwards, but I've just tightened these up with Danielle in, just so that we know where it's going to be sitting roughly. Then what we want to do is we want to find the Kam Snap that we've done, and then find out the position on the hammock where it's going to go. You can see it's probably just about there, so I'll mark that up and then bring you in for a closer look. Right, so we're all marked up on the hammock there, lined up with this. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the next one, and I'll show you the difference between the underquilt and the hammock, and then I'll go crack on and install them. Right, so as you can see, on the first one's on the underquilt, just sort of around about 11 inches, and then I'll show you the first two on the hammock just to show you the difference. So you can see I'm just lining it up with that point there, and then we're going to come down to where my second point is. And it's just there, look, so about 10 1/4 I've marked it, so it's about 3/4 of an inch less on the hammock, and that's just to give you a little bit of sag in the underquilt so you're not putting too much pressure on it. Right, so we'll get the rest of it done and then we'll get them installed. Right, so I've unzipped my bug net completely off, and what I've just realised is when I've done the marking on the start of the hammock, I'm actually going to interfere with the zip on the back side. So I'm just going to line up my awl. You see that it's quite a nice neat hammock, this one, so it's all in like individual squares, if you can see that. I'm just going to line up in the same square and just come underneath the zip baffle, so just there, and I'm going to poke through. And then I've got to remember now to come through the back, so that I want the female socket on this side of the hammock. There we go, so just a bit easier than the quilt to line up the back. Pop through, put your socket on. Oh, much easier than the underquilt. And then take it over to you. And then obviously putting your little socket on the little die tool, take your clamp, pull down and press to install. Okay, so just again we're going to the next one, just remembering to come down a little bit from beyond the zip, just there, push through, grab a Kam Snap, line it up on the back, push through, push socket on, take to your tool, pull the material over, keep it nice and neat, make sure the back of the Kam Snap is in the socket, grab your tool, pull down a little bit, lined up, and then press to install. Right, so as you can see I've got the first two installed now. I'm just going to finish off and do all the rest on this side and on the opposite. Right, well that's my video on how I use Kam Snaps to modify my camping gear. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment, let me know what you thought about it. And if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel by pressing this. See you in the next one.